Darcy and Patricia O'Connor here today on the Bonsai Balcony. It is a kind of warm. Started off kind of cool, but it's warming up. Fall day in Alameda, California. It is October 18th. It's kind of 18th, is it? I'm not really sure. Kind of lost track of the days. Anyway, it is my Thursday day off, and this is typically whenever we get our chance to do our midweek drop. Formerly our Wednesday drop, but before that it was our Thursday drop again. So we're back, baby. Anyway, I just came through here a little while ago and watered. It was kind of watered late because it's just been kind of like, do you need to water? Do you not need to water? Sometimes it's really obvious. You know, our temperatures will spike up, and maybe it's a little windy or something, and we'll go through water quickly, and then we'll come back through and look and maybe water again. So today, it started off cool. It was broadcasted to be even cooler, and but it was what I felt to be a little warm, especially for what they were calling. And yesterday was supposed to be, and it was. Yesterday was cool. We barely broke 70, but at the same time, our winds were high. We had a lot of 15-mile-an-hour winds and stuff, which will dehydrate trees. What are you talking about? What are you getting on about, Pat? Well, it's kind of a weird time in the Bay Area because it's well and truly mid-October. Most of my counterparts are showing their fall colors. This is an evergreen, no fall colors. This is an evergreen, no fall colors. But this isn't. And as the fine folks at the Bald Cypress Facebook page pointed out, my little trio here isn't really showing any fall. Actually, it kind of is. We're seeing a slow departure from our vibrant green. But what I would like to see is a cold snap to turn all these guys just rust red. That's dramatic. That's powerful. That's a postcard. If we get kind of a general cooling between now and winter, then the foliage goes from green to light green to orange, and then by that time it's already started falling off and looks spotty and stuff. But if we get a nice cool snap, you know, if we were to get a nice Halloween cool snap or around November cool snap, all of that stuff can just go this beautiful red overnight. That's what, and it doesn't last that long once it does that. But if we can get that while the canopy is still shaped like that, we're lucky when we see that a few times. And my Trident Maple has done something that beautiful. But for mid-October, we're not seeing most of those colors yet. I am starting to see, like, the leaves are starting to look old, you know. Yeah, we're starting to see their defenses drop a little. They're getting ready to start changing colors. That's what I would say about that. But temperature-wise, man, we keep being in and out of it and in and out of it. The water I laid down yesterday before I left, knowing that we had 15-mile-an-hour winds coming, was hedging hope against hope that we didn't get higher temperatures than what we were talking about, because I may not be here to water if it were to be hot and 15-mile-an-hour winds. So when I got in yesterday, we still had water. When I got up this morning, we still had water. So I watered a little while afternoon, just when everybody hit their their sweet spot. But they were predicting rain also, and that just went right on by to the north of us. So the next rain event that we will or will not get will be in a couple of days, and I need to be on top of this and make sure that nobody gets caught out. Let me just rephrase that. I need to make sure I don't get caught out between cool, temperate days where the water that I throw down might lay here for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden it gets warm and everything dries up really quickly. You know, this is a kind of a back and forth time of year for our trees, and this is a kind of back and forth year for our weather, and this is something that I have to be a little bit more on top of when it comes to my watering and staying on top of it. Now, you know, as trees begin to lose their foliage, watering or not, you know, it'll take longer for a tree to go through its water. But this stone redwood is still drying out fairly quickly, and no, I'm not really seeing it doing much towards budding back out again. It decided it was fall a couple of weeks ago, and all of it's well and truly it's well and truly gone for the season. So, but just trying to stay on top of this is tricky, but well worth the effort, you know. Some trees do not like to be overwatered, so to not let this guy dry out, but to be afraid of it drying out too much and watering it like in between waterings or something, that could be ill-advised when it comes to a ponderosa. They like less water than my Japanese black pines, so which you can also overwater. Oaks, they'll take all the water you give them pretty much. That is to say, as long as you're letting them dry out. In between waterings, you will see that they dry out fairly quickly. And so it is a little trickier to stay on top of our watering this time of year. And I am, like right today, I've got one clock in the sun that's white and reflecting all that sunlight, but the plastic is heating up, and it says that it's over 100, while the other thermometer says that it's 73, and it's the other thermometer is up high, so it's probably not is up high over on the eave of the door, so it's probably not quite that high right here where I am. That's just where all the heat would hang out. I'm just kind of looking at this seeing what could use a little prune back. But yeah, this show is basically about the difficulties of, you know, we have added time to our growth season here, but we also prune that back a little more. To our growth season here, but we also have to worry about that back and forth. And you know, and I've said this before. At this time, the trees their hormonal allocation is going more towards antifreeze than coolant. So some hormones are there to make sure that they don't get too cold, or they don't react badly to cold weather. And some hormones are just the opposite of that. They kind of help the tree to move along water, and the water is 85% of that is to cool the tree. And so with all of that going on, we're ping-ponging back and forth between hot and cold, and drizzly and super dry, because like right now it feels very, very dry out right now. It also feels hot, so that could be it could be that dry part could be an illusion. I'm not really looking at a barometer, but it feels like hot, dry heat today. And the drying out that I'm seeing of the trees would kind of go with that. On more humid days, they hold their water longer. So that's a little bit of prune back on those tips. And I especially have to try to stay on top of the little trees. Those tiny pots will get hot faster, and they will roast roots faster. So you saw me looking at this ponderosa earlier. These are our older needles, but they are the ones that got the most beat up during this last heat spell. And traditionally, and I say traditionally because that's like every year for the last several years, as long as I can remember, we've had a 90-degree heat event in October. And whereas I got over 100 degrees up here, it wasn't that hot on the ground, and that was early October, just the first couple of days of October. I would hope that was it for the year, because I'm already seeing, we're already starting to see the burnt tips and stuff from that. But I don't necessarily feel like that was it for us. We might have another heat spell to come, because that one came so early. But yeah, this tree, look at its colors. It's still doing everything, still pushing out new growth, still looking, but it is just all of its tips and stuff got roasted, and those second year needles all cooked, just like the one over there, but not the other ones around it that are the same age as this one and that one. So it's not all of them, but it's hitting some of them hard, and that's heat when it is not at a time of year when it normally wouldn't be getting that kind of heat, Colorado or Wyoming, or wherever, those places now are already starting to see really cold temperatures, and right now we're having some of ours. So that makes it, like the part where I would start cutting back the roots, the escape roots that survived out in here. Not yet. My little trays full of substrate, they need to keep their substrate in them, and those little trees need to keep their escape roots a little while longer. When we get well and truly into winter, those trees would start to yellow if those escape roots started staying wet too long. All right, that's kind of where we're at right now. We are just at the signs where our trees are just starting to show, like somebody was pointing out that our trees here, like, where do you live? They're not even showing signs of fall yet. Alameda, California. But I don't think the foliage on here is going to last too much longer. We probably got maybe another couple of weeks. But the bet is, do we lose it? Does it change colors all at once with a really cool snap that leaves us with some really beautiful, vibrant colors? Or is it just going to slowly fade its way from fall into winter, and it just kind of, the foliage goes from green to a kind of an anemic green to yellow to orange, and by that time it's already splotchily fallen off? It's way less dramatic, but it all serves the same purpose. When it doesn't have any foliage on it, that'll be when I go through and make branch selections and little choices that we'll start off with next spring. Other than that, today's been a really nice, kind of restful like cue the jet. The top side thermometer says it's 74, and it's up there, so I think it would be actually a little warmer there than it is right here, where the airflow is not just hot. Anyway, like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. This is a short little ditty just describing our what's going on here in the Bay Area, while everybody else is starting to dig in their trees and starting to see freezing temperatures. We're still seeing 80 degrees, and we're still dealing with warmer temperatures than that still, because we're on our 4th floor up here. So I appreciate you, Frida, appreciate you, and thank you all. Thank you all so much for watching. You look so good. That red and blue, they're so pretty in there when you're up and when you're down.